Welcome to the ultimate AR review. You're gonna see some of the baddest ARs on the planet today, along with some of the just as goods, my friend. That's right, we're gonna test some of the best ARs known to man and some of the ones that you all swear by that are probably trash. But either way, we're gonna have a lot of fun doing it. Today, we're gonna test the BCM, the Knights Armament SR-15, the Seekins DMR, the infamous Sons of Liberty Gunworks, a super swank one called the Hodge Defense, good old trusty Geissele, that's right, we're gonna put Bill to the test, an LMT Mars, that's right, Lewis Machine and Tool, and lastly, one that I didn't even know about that some of you Tacta boys had to educate me on, the Ridgeline Defense. Guys, we're gonna test it today. We're gonna look at really two main components. And instead of just a boring straight video where you watch me shoot, I'm gonna try to kind of talk through each one as we go ranking from worst to best. Yeah, Dodge Chargers are awesome cars, no doubt. And I think absolutely you should go into massive debt to buy one. You are in for an awesome video today. We are gonna test 8 of the baddest ARs on the planet and some just as goods. That's right. We are gonna test some top tier AR platforms and some that you all swear are top tier and might be, might not be. This is something I've wanted to do for quite some time. A long time ago, when I got into the PRS, I started wondering, why don't more people use ARs in competitive environments? I mean, come on, they're freaking cool. You don't have to run the bolt, so you can be faster on the stages. And from a pure battle aliens invade scenario, I thought they were more practical at the time. But what I found out very quickly is there really were kind of two elements that led to ARs being pulled out of serious competitive shooting in the precision rifle series and what have you, until eventually they got their own class or division. And those two elements were, first off, accuracy, which I would argue we kind of solved for. What you're gonna see the results today, these things shot incredibly well. I'm gonna go ahead and just ruin it and tell you the average group, we shot three-shot groups from 3 different positions with all 8 ARs, and we averaged a 0.9. So we averaged a sub-MOA group with 24 different 3-shot groups with just factory Hornady 55 grain ammo. That nice. So you kind of solved for the precision component, right? Which is how tight of a group, but you were getting accuracy issues based on, especially at distance, flex being induced in the rail. So we're gonna look at both those components today. First off, the first big shout out that has to go out is to my boys at Eagle Armory, guys. Literally, this video would not have happened without them. These things were so hard to find and source that had it not been for Eagle letting me borrow these for video's sake, it wouldn't have happened. So thank you so much, Eagle. Y'all continue to step up and you can find anything. I'm convinced of it. You can find anything. Like, if you're looking for something super hard to find, those are the dudes. Outside of having one very bearded quasi GM named Yash, who went to Baylor with a beard. I think you know who I'm talking about. That's so cool, bruh. Those dudes are studs. Shout out to them. Thank you. I did though, however, due to just the timing of this, I wasn't able to get everything from them. So I did have to place a lot of phone calls and talk to a lot of Ooh, yeah, she definitely said I can't say that anymore. Tacta boys, how about that? Yeah, we'd probably get away with that. So I had to call a bunch of Tacta boys. And as you can imagine, some of those were pretty painful conversations. Hey, what's up, man? This is your boy, the Plus Size Athlete. I hear you've got some pretty rare AR stuff. I'm filming a video. I was wanting to know if I could maybe borrow that. I totally agree. Yeah, no, your branch of the military is definitely the best branch in the military. Oh yeah, no doubt. I think really short shorts and flip-flops look totally normal on an adult male for everyday wear. Yeah, I agree. White Claw absolutely should be the national drink of the United States. Yeah, no, I'm sure Trump will get that done. Oh, you wrote him a letter? Cool. Was it in Crown? Yeah, Dodge Chargers are awesome cars, no doubt. The Punisher logo is super, super cool. I do think it should go on the hood of that car. Anyway, hey bro, can I borrow that rifle? Is that cool? That's all tongue in cheek. I'm joking. I respect and appreciate all those who have served. This is just a joke, but some of those statements actually happened on the phone, okay? Respect all those who served. I'm so grateful for what you sacrificed for our freedoms in this country to make videos like this one. They're also, stereotypes are funny because often they're true. Really quickly, guys, please like and subscribe. Share this video. We're trying to get to 50,000 views. I'll do more Tacted Boy cool stuff if that's what gets us there to get the reach out, but we just really appreciate it. It helps us be able to continue doing stuff like this. So let me know if you like this style video, like, subscribe, throw it in the comments, appreciate it. Also, huge shout out to one very affluent doctor who let me borrow. Dr. Steve, you're the man. Appreciate you, brother. But anyway, we got it done, guys. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about it and we're just gonna jump right in and start. We looked at 8 ARs, and basically what we did is we did 3 shot groups, prone with no load into the bipod. Then we did a 3-shot group with loaded in, and you know your boy put that plus size athlete on him, son. Baby. Like a true applicable induced flex. If you were creating the triangle, creating the wedge, getting down, you were going prone and wanted to create that flex, your boy used the OG Harris, so all you Tacta boys wouldn't get too upset because I know that's your fave. That's my fave too still. Try to keep it really as level as I could. And then I went up on a barricade and shot 3. Why? Because again, when I look at this, I'm thinking about it from really 2 components. Practical application in the field, practical application if aliens invaded. Very cool. But more so for me, like, would I use this in a competitive environment? And so those are the 3 scenarios in which I'm going to be running. Prone, loaded prone as far as the bipod, and then off a barricade. So that's what we did. So let's jump in immediately and find out who took last place. In 8th place, you might have guessed it, you might not have, but so many of you are gonna be very upset. It's the Just As Good model, baby. That's right, last place was the BCM. BCM took last, guys. It had a ton of shift due to flex. I mean a ton, namely in the vertical realm. So let's kind of look at the stats really quickly. You can see both vertical shifts with the BCM. One was 3.8 inches and the other was 2.8, okay? Horizontal wasn't horrendous at a 0.6, but not good, okay? Not good. However, interesting note, while all of you are rage baiting right now and you're just typing on your keyboard, hating on me, my BCM lights out, it's the greatest thing ever, man. Okay, but what I will give it is it shot the best groups of the day, interestingly enough. So it kind of hammered, honestly. It averaged a 0.6. So the BCM averaged a 0.671, having the best groups of the day. So if you don't induce any sort of flex, and maybe you're just running this in like a tactical up off your shoulder environment, hey man, maybe it is just as good. I don't know. I don't own one. All of these were borrowed, by the way. I have no stake in this whatsoever. I don't own any of these. Some of these I really like and liked beforehand and knew that, but I borrowed all of these, so there would be no reason for me to pick one over the other. From a cost perspective, it's also lowest cost. So weigh that in. Either way, interesting results. The average shift, total inch shift on the BCM was 2 inches. That's not doable in 100 yards. That's basically 2 MOA. And so you start getting in those 6, 7, 8, 900,000 yards. If you're shooting at 1 MOA, 1.5 MOA targets, that's a miss. So not doable there. Doesn't mean it's a bad AR, absolutely not. But it took 8th place in our test. 7th place, this one might shock you a little bit. 7th place was actually the Sons of Liberty Gunworks. Now, what? Before all of you rage out, this is the older model. This is the M76. I could not get a Mark I fast enough. It is headed to Eagle, but I wasn't able to get it in time, so I wasn't able to test that. So I'm thinking maybe it'd be kind of fun down the road to do this test again with kind of the top 3 and then throw the Mark I in there. So I know they fixed a lot of things in that whole setup with where the barrel meets the rail and the flex induced and what have you. So I'll be curious to see what they do. But it did take 7th place. Now, it was a far jump better in flex than the BCM was. So you can see on average, its flex was a 1.2. Yeah, the vertical, namely in the average vertical being it right at 2 inches. So it's pretty consistent, both off barricade and in the conditioned flex prone, but is what it is. Either way though, however, it's significantly less than the BCM. But again, guys, it shot lights out. I mean, it shot a 0.9 with factory Hornady 55. That's fantastic. All right, so these are, they lived up to their standard for sure from a precision perspective, accuracy perspective, if you have no flex. Okay. 6th place, the KAC SR15, that's right, the Knight's Armament. This one surprised me a little bit too, but again, we're talking about literally the highest end ARs on planet Earth, give or take maybe 1 or 2 special ones that even I'm not tactiboy enough to know about. So interesting findings on that one. The vertical shift, the average shift was a 1.1 inch and the average group size was a 1.1 inch. So pretty consistent. Guys, this is definitely a fighting carbine, okay? I understand that. I take it for what it is in that regard. I know people swear by that and have literally put their life on the line with that firearm, not disrespecting it in any way. I just wanted to test it to see if it would be something that could be used in competitive environments as well, or something that would see flex induced based on what we're doing. So in this test, it wasn't, but it came in at a respectable 6th place. 5th place, my main man, Bill, Geissele. All right, Geissele. Now, I was actually surprised the guys that did as well as it did, because you know, you've seen Geissele on my channel before. I dig their rifles, man. They make quality stuff. And actually, the Geissele shot the best group of the day. No surprise there. They freaking hammer. One of the Geissele groups was a .282. Best group of the day on paper, period. And the average group was a .799. Also fantastic with factory Hornady 55 grain ammo. But Geissele are known to have shift in the rail, in the handguard. They're just known to shift. And so I was actually pleased with where it finished in 5th place. Maybe they're getting better. Maybe they're finding solutions there. I don't know if anything has changed in that regard. It's worth doing some more homework on, as this was just kind of the initial test that I wanted to share with you guys and keep this video pretty short. But there you have it. The Geissele coming in at 5th overall, shooting a .799, doing really well from an accuracy perspective. If you could predict the shift, most of it was in the elevation at a 1.5 and a 1.3 inch. So maybe it's predictable from that regard. I don't know, but either way, great rifle, great setup. Coming in at 5th place, you got the Geissele. In 4th place, you've got the Hodge Defense. Now this is one I didn't even know about. In my research for the video, I didn't know what this was. One of the Tactive Boys had to school me up on it, what it was, why it was so cool, what they were doing with their handguard and the barrel link system and the whole thing. So Tactive Boy had to school me up. Here we are, but here it came in 4th place. The Hodge Defense saw an average shift of .971. So here we are. Now we're under an inch on average, okay? Top 4 under an inch. And for a fighting carbine, guys, It shot a 1.1 inch group on average. Really, really solid. These are expensive rifles. These run anywhere from $2,900 to $3,200. So it finishing in the top 4, obviously it's a fighting rifle, but I think speaks to kind of the quality and make of what you're getting, what you pay for in some regard. And so there you go, number 4, Hodge Defense. We've broken the top 3. I expected some of these to be in the top 3, except this one. In 3rd place, guys, we had the Seekins DMR. That's right, the Seekins DMR coming in. I had heard really great things about the lack of flex in their AR platform system, but man, it came out on paper. Holy smokes, wow, wow, wow. Now, this was not a 5.56 223. This is the only one that was in a different cartridge. This was a 22 ARC because that's all I could find it in. But again, using Hornady factory ammo, I think I was shooting the 80s. You're starting to see the flex really dip down here, guys. 0.729 on average. Okay, that is not a ton of flex, especially when you consider the price point on the Seekins is like $1,900 to $2,300. So I'd have to look, but that's somewhere in the realm of the 2nd to the 3rd least expensive. Huh. And yet it's in the 3rd best position overall as far as flex is concerned off bipod and barricade. So really, really solid finish for that. The only knock on the Seekins is I had, and you guys, some of you are gonna complain, you're gonna be like, oh, you had different optics, you had different magnification capability. Yeah, guys, your boy shoots groups, okay? It doesn't matter what you put on there, and some of them I just swapped the scope over rifle to rifle, so I was consistent. But I can hammer groups with anything at this point. I do this a lot. That being said, I had the most magnification on the Seekins. I think that it was a, gosh, it might have been the 7 to 35 on there. I don't remember what it was because I've already had to give it back, but it was massive magnification, and it shot the worst group at a 1.5 inch. So that really surprised me. If you took that out of there, we averaged a sub-MOA, but we really would have done even well as a total group. That kind of pulled the group out in a bad way, but nonetheless, that could just be an ammo thing. Could be that it just didn't like that load. I don't know. I'd have to do some more testing with that barrel, although the owner did tell me that that one particular barrel he's not really had much luck with. So either way, that's not what we're here to do today. From a flex perspective, this was interesting because both the vertical shifts were like a 0.7 and a 0.6. So pretty low vertically. That was a really interesting find. Average flex of 0.729. Very consistent and really an excellent find for the price point. Seekins DMR, well done. So here we are, the top 2. One of these I expected to be there. The other one I did not and didn't even know what it was. This was such a fine line on the top 2 that it was literally within a 100th as far as the flex is concerned of an inch, okay? Literally within a 100th of an inch. I gave it to the one I gave it to because that one not only was 100th better flex-wise, but it also was a tad bit more accurate. So in the number 2 spot, you got, the Ridgeline Defense RD15. I had no experience with that rifle at all. I later did, in researching for this video and doing homework, saw what they did to their receiver set to elongate it and create a lockup with their handguard that basically removes the flex off their barrel system, and man, did it show up in the test. I am so impressed. The other thing I will say is just all in all, the Ridgeline was my favorite one to shoot by far. And interestingly enough, the feel of it, guys, there was like no movement in that thing, but it was comfortable. It was comfortable in the hand. The bottom rail is full ARCA. And so it just was a modern, well thought out, well planned, strategic rifle that I was so impressed with. Shot super soft, just a really, really great rig. And we're starting to get in serious area of no flex and accuracy combinations here. The average flex on the Ridgeline was a .610. .610 was the average flex. However, what I really like about it, and for me, even though I put it in the number 2 place, for me personally, the Ridgeline would be the winner out of all 8 because there was absolutely no flex when I went to the barricade. None, 0. So when I'm thinking, I can control when I'm prone, I don't really need to load the bipod that much anyway, especially with these light recoiling cartridges. So for me, it's more important that I'm shooting here and that I can go to barricade and throw it up and get stable. And man, I cranked on that freaking forend. I cranked on that handguard and that rail to try to induce flex, and there was none. There was literally none to be had there. So really, really impressed with that Ridgeline. Gosh, that's a cool freaking rig. Super cool. And those are the guys I think that they used to be made out of New Hampshire and bought Altus. So I think they're doing training and matches and all the things now. I'm not really sure. But man, that was an impressive setup. It averaged a .957 on groups, so really solid there as well. Again, that could just be the ammo I'm running. I'm just blown away by the accuracy given the factory loads that I was shooting. And it's fantastic. Number 2 on our test, based on the math, for me personally, it's what I would have picked as the number 1 overall win for my personal use case. Super well done, and I'm looking forward to doing some more homework on these guys and maybe some project stuff in the future because it was impressive. The only knock I put, this is like a $3,200 rifle, and the reason is they list it lower than that, but guys, you can't find them. You cannot find them. Maybe that was due to the move when they moved from New Hampshire down to Florida or whatever, so maybe they'll be up in production again. But man, I tried like heck. After I shot, I was like, I want one of these things. It's super cool. You cannot find them, and I had to call so many Tactiboys to find one and borrow, and I ended up borrowing it from just a regular old white-collar doctor. So again, Dr. Steve, you the man. Thanks, brother. So I put down 3,200 because I think that's what it would take to get it done when I'm out there seeing it, if you can even find one. But again, all in all, the Ridgeline, I was just uber impressed, blown away. And our winner, with massive foreshadowing throughout the entire video, you guessed it, the Lewis Machining Tool, the LMT Mars. Guys, first off, this rig looks awesome. If you live in Alaska, they ain't never gonna see you, dog, because you are camoed out with this setup. So super cool. Obviously, incredible reputation they have for good reason, and it showed up in the testing, both in the accuracy and in the flex element. Again, it won by 1/100th of an inch, so the average flex on the LMT was a 0.6. 0.6, really solid, guys, 0.6 inches. And the accuracy out of it was a 0.724. 0.724, really solid groups. And I was just impressed. If you're not competing with this, you're not planning on shooting off barricades, maybe this is the right one for you, the pick for you. These run 2,500 to 2,900 depending on which one you're getting. Just a really solid rig. Again, not enough good things to say about it. The LMT Defense Mars, I was impressed. What a cool rig to have only 0.6 inches of flex and a 0.724 average group out of 3-3-shot groups. Really good. And if you're just laying prone, plinking, using this for 3-gun comps type stuff, this is probably a great setup, great rig, because you're inducing very little flex from what I found into the bipod when you're loading it. And if you're not on barricades, then you probably don't need the other stuff. So that's it. Cool, fun test. Tried to make it interesting with the data as I talk over it and show you the shooting. So let me know what you think of this video style, if you guys like it or not. I want to do some more of these Tactiboy kind of review things. Obviously, I'm built like a top tier operator, donut operator, but it doesn't mean that your boy can't get out and learn and embarrass himself in 3-gun matches or whatever, and I'd promote you to do the same thing. Really had a good time filming this one. Let me know what else you want to see. Let me know if you want to see a follow-up to this. Throw in the comments. Guys, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. Want to get up to 50,000. Come on, baby. Let's go. maybe with some Tactiboy content, we can get there. But this was a fun one. And again, shout out to Eagle Armory. Thank you so much for letting me borrow these rigs to do this and finding and sourcing these uber hard to find unicorn setups like what I got to use in this video. Guys, we thank you so much. We appreciate you. God bless you. Your boy, the plus size athlete, Tactiboy, out. The Punisher logo is super, super cool. Yeah, and I think your lady should get it on the small of her back as a tramp stamp. That would be totally dope.